So I'm Rob with Richie Sales, and I'm here with Lina from Curated Nest, and we're going to ask her a couple questions about design, herself, and some business.
Perfect. I'm excited.
Thank you for being with us. Our first question is, Curated Nest is built around the idea of functional design for modern families. How did that philosophy become such a defining part of your work?
That philosophy was what started our firm. So it truly is the foundation of what we do. When Erin and myself, Erin is my partner, she and I both had babies at the same time. And we were sitting in Brooklyn, we lived in Brooklyn at the time, with all these other moms who had just had babies. We're in this mom group and we're talking about the house and how are things going and how do you manage it. And we discovered that a lot of people thought that they couldn't have a nice home or they couldn't have nice things until their kids were older. So we thought, no way, there has got to be a much better way to do this. So we started getting really deep in the area of livable luxury and really figuring out how we can make homes beautiful but still make them functional. Especially for people with young kids and pets and who might have a very busy lifestyle. So that was how it all started. That was the spark. And then we started deepening into that field, and that's where our business still is today.
Awesome. So you both came into the business with very different backgrounds.
Yes, that is true.
How have those experiences shaped the way Curated Nest operates today?
So Erin has been a designer since she was like 6 years old. She was rearranging the furniture in her childhood home. And immediately after going to design school, she started her own firm on her own. I met her at a time when things were changing. You know, we had both just had our first kids. She was thinking about changing things up a little. And I had come from a corporate background. I did management consulting and then eventually kind of burned out, went back to school and, learned how to be a designer. So we met right at that pivotal moment. And she felt like she could use some business refinements, improvements to make her business more successful and to kind of change it up. And I was just bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and wanting to touch all the pretty things. And so we came at it from a very different perspective. Hers from sort of a very traditional design educational background, and me from a practical background and like bringing business strategies to our company.
Awesome. So when you're designing for a family, how do you balance making a home feel elevated and beautiful while still making sure it can be truly lived in with dogs and multiple kids
and pets and grandma and drunken uncle. So there's a couple of different strategies we use. One is really getting to know that family first up. That's critical to get to know what's the rhythm of their lifestyle. How do they spend their weekends? What are their morning routines like? What are the pain points of their day-to-day? And designing specifically for that. So we consider things like the layout, furniture layout, thinking about a floor plan that's going to serve that family. What's the traffic flow going to look like? How many people are in that house? Are there choke points or areas where access isn't as good? So layout is the number one aspect that we consider, both with furniture layouts as well as architectural if we're doing a remodel and moving walls. We also really go deep into materials. So thinking about family-friendly living, you're going to want materials that can stand up to the wear and tear of day-to-day, fabrics that can be easily cleaned, things that add a sense of ease to that client's lifestyle and allow them to live in their home with comfort, but also without the stress of thinking that something is too precious and it can't be touched. We want our clients to feel like their home is serving them, not the other way around.
As co-founders, how do your roles naturally differ, and how does that dynamic strengthen the studio as a whole?
So, Rob, that's a great question because we are celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year. And obviously we started as just 2 people, and now we are a team of 9. So we've definitely evolved and grown, and that has required more specificity in our roles. In the beginning, we both did the same thing. It was all together. And now Erin is the director, the creative director, and I am the director of business development. So we focus on different things. Ultimately, we review all the designs together. We make sure our creative is on brand together, but we have slightly different functional roles on the day-to-day.
Got it. So that duo and all those abilities has earned you guys a lot of visibility in the press, awards, features. Has that recognition changed the kinds of projects that have come your way?
First of all, thank you. It's always nice to be recognized for hard work. And yes, 100%. Press is one of the main ways that we find our clients. Instagram is helpful, but there's something about print press where people have a magazine that they can touch and feel.
Interesting.
It almost feels more legitimate. It lends our work more credibility. So I would say that, yeah, go for the PR. It definitely pays off.
Awesome. So what do you think your clients are really looking for today when they come into your firm?
I think our clients are looking for a mix of things. They're looking for a good experience. They're looking to know that their investment is going to be taken seriously and applied in a smart way. We often say, interior design, especially for a whole home, is often one of the biggest investments you're going to make in your life. And the fact that they're willing to trust us with that is a big responsibility. So I would say that's the first thing. They want a firm that's reputable. They want someone that they can trust with their finances and their money. The other thing that they're looking for is our livable luxury perspective and that whole philosophy that informs all of our design choices, or most of our design choices. They're specifically looking for that, as well as a style that that feels approachable and livable and not too precious.
For someone experiencing Curated Nest for the first time, what is the one thing that you hope they understand instantly when they view your work?
I hope that they understand that each individual project was made specifically for a single client or a family. That they see the thought and the intention that goes behind the design choices. And they realize that that was done for a reason, to make that family's life easier, to make it more stress-free. I think that's the biggest thing, is that they see that it's bespoke and also very thoughtful.
I have two more questions for you. After your first year in business together, what was something you would have told yourself or done differently on day one if you could go back?
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. The one thing would be to not be afraid to hire people to help our team. So whether that is a design assistant or a bookkeeper or a handyman that we can have available for our installations. In the beginning, we were very cagey about spending money on outside help, but I would say that third parties are a great way to expand your business, and there is a return on it. And that return might not be clear in the first year, but you will see it over time and it will grow.
Fascinating. And then I have to ask you, talk to me about your favorite project. What made it special? A location, a job, a client, a purpose behind the project that really had an impact on you or the client or anything, the community?
Okay. Really hard to pick just one. One of my recent favorites was a project we did in Chappaqua in Westchester, New York State. Really beautiful family home, but very dated. And we renovated probably every single surface in that house. And the result was beautiful. It was cohesive. A lot of performance features and a lot of functionality packed into that project. And I think it was a great example of a project really done right where there was a beautiful balance between the creative and the practical. We loved the result. The kitchen is like the kitchen of my dreams. So you know that when you're a little jealous of your clients, you've done a good job.
So what's next for Curated Nest?
So we are at our 10-year anniversary, and of course, it's a great milestone to stop and think and do some self-reflection and think about what we want for the next 10. So one thing that we are hoping to do in the next couple of years is potentially explore licensing. We love product. We love getting our hands in all the details of making product. And I would be 100% game to do a lot of different categories, whether it's lighting or furniture or floor coverings, tile. You know, there's so many options out there, and these are things that we're using on our day-to-day for our projects. And to be able to have a hand in a style or in a way that it's manufactured, I think we would have a lot to offer in that space, especially with our experience in livable luxury and kind of bringing all the learnings that we've collected over 10 years to potentially a product licensing deal or manufacturing.